Salute, comrades. This is Behind the Walls Talk with your founder, William McCallum, and I thank you for visiting this domain. I'm here to give you an insight into the minds and hearts of those incarcerated that have been deemed voiceless. Well, this is where their voice and stories will be told for those of you who are concerned with human beings that are in prison for the mistakes they have made and for some of the injustices that were committed against them. Resolutions for reform is the goal and objective looking to be attained. Now step into our world. And welcome to another episode of Behind the Walls Talk. I got a good brother with me here today. He has a lot to say. He has a good background story.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
I'm pretty sure each and every one of you are going to find this story very interesting. So without further ado, tell the listeners, my brother, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Phillip Scott, Jr. I'm from a place called Wyandanch, New York, located in Suffolk County, Long Island. I'm 59 years old. And I had one journey that I could say is spiritual on one hand, which is very much so. On the other hand, I could say that it's actually been one hell of a ride, but I'm still holding on and I'm still walking strong, But
that's right, my brother. I'm glad you're holding strong, my brother. That's what we have to do.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
In this situation behind these walls, my brother, we definitely have to hold on strong. They can definitely not count us amongst the broken ones. Hey, may I ask you, what were you charged with and how much time did they give you, my brother?
I was charged with first murder, and 15 minutes I was given life without parole with a jury.
Okay. How long have you now been incarcerated?
I've been incarcerated right now 12 years. This happened in 2013.
2013? Okay, then. Could you give us a background story upon your reason for being incarcerated?
Okay, well, I'm gonna walk in my cell, actually, you know what I mean, and I'm gonna definitely give you the background as much as I can, because sometimes when you are in these situations, these people usually do something unorthodox. But
that's right.
This didn't happen in 2013. In June 2013, and when it did happen in 2013, I was having a barbecue with my, at the time, old lady, but I was going to the store to get some things. On my way back, there was a lot of people standing out my breezeway, my apartment complex in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I asked this brother, could he please move out the way so I could get through, and not doing so, punched me in my face. At the time, I'm 47 and a half, going on 48. I had glasses on, so immediately, I start defending myself, basically. During that whole time, this is all during the time I never left and came back. During the time of our altercation, he threatened me and said that he was going to kill me. And, unfortunately, I defended myself, and I just shot because I had a weapon on me. And I'm not no marksman or anything at that time. I shot out of fear. And I happened to hit him. And, I found out sometime later that he passed away. And, the rest was history, because I did tell the police basically what happened, even though I was under the influence of marijuana, because they had my girlfriend at the time, and she had nothing to do with anything that was going on. And, it was just so ugly, because I did give the information about what happened, and they twisted it all around against you, which they always would do and will do. I was offered one plea, which was 21 to 26 years, while I sat in the Mecklenburg County Jail for 4 years and 2 weeks before I went to trial. In that time, I had been through 3 lawyers. Actually, the first lawyer I went to was named Shalina Habel, and she had a PI by the name of Farrah Johnson. And Farrah Johnson was the one actually that dug up all the information on the victim, letting me know that he had a record. He was not supposed to be on the property at all. His family was going to be were being actually kicked out from that property because of him and the things that he was doing at the time, as far as breaking into cars and apartments. And it was just real shameful that I had to go through this to know and understand, to learn from this. And none of this was even brought up in trial. The second lawyer I had was named Terry Sherrill, who was a judge who then got caught smoking crack on the west side of Charlotte. And he got barred to be a judge, but then now became a lawyer defending people with murder cases, and which he didn't do anything for me in 18 months to 2 years. I might have saw him twice or 3 times. He's the one that came to me with the only plea that I had, which was 21 to 26 years once again. And I did a motion to dismiss because of ineffective counsel on his behalf, which I won.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Then I was given a lawyer by the name of Robert Corbett. And me and Mr. Corbett, at first I thought that we were clicking, but he wasn't really trying to help me out at all. I had a great psychiatrist. She was definitely A1. She had worked in the federal system, so she knew the system very well. She was actually on a Timothy McVeigh case. And she, told the courts some great stuff about me that I didn't even know it existed, which they overlooked and didn't care about, especially when we went to trial. I went to trial in front of a guy by the name of Robert Bell, who was the presiding judge, who has now passed away.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
For some time now. So, I went to trial, you pick your jury and everything, and you go through the, proceedings of that nature when you're in trial, which only lasted for exactly 4 days and 15 minutes. When I say 15 minutes, that's how long it took for the jury to deliberate, because the judge gave the jury the wrong instructions and double talked the jury to convict me. My mother said it was over when she knew that the lawyer went back there with the judge and the district attorney when they brought me back to the holding cell. It was really a terrible moment in my life. It really didn't sink in, but I didn't act out of anything. I held my temper. I held my feelings. They didn't even let me speak. And it's just been a crazy ride still, because after me going through what I went through, I was appointed an appellate on the appellate council, who really didn't pay attention to anything that I said. So my parents wouldn't hire a guy by the name of Bruce Cunningham Jr., who has now passed away since 2019. Now, Bruce was the best lawyer that I had, period. He had me get ready to go back in the court and really get ready to get me free. He saw all the mistakes that was done in my trial. He says, no way that they could have convicted you of first-degree murder, first and foremost, because it was a fight. And you never left the scene. And during that time, the most they could have really given you was second degree. You didn't have a record here, which I didn't have a record in North Carolina. The only thing I had at the time was a traffic ticket. And, once he died, everything that he had in place was off the table. And then I had this guy named Michael Patrick Magario out of Orlando, Florida, who could practice in North Carolina. And he proceeded to take money from my family and do nothing once he got disbarred from North Carolina and didn't even give back our money. And he wrote up a bogus report stating that he did X, Y, and Z in my case, but he did nothing and filed nothing. And the state bar sided with him. So then my parents hired Lisa Williams in 2022, paying her X amount of sum of $20,000, in which she did nothing. She's actually from Durham, North Carolina. That's what she practices out of. And at this time, as we speak, my parents are trying to get this money back from Lisa Williams. So this has been a real roller coaster ride, because now, by the grace of God, I had somebody that I knew that was in my situation who is now home, put me in tune with a lady named Mary Pollard. And she then took my stuff to the North Carolina Prison Legal Services, and they actually given me a lawyer that is looking into my situation as we speak, collecting all data and information. So by the grace of God, I believe, in my heart and soul, spirit, that things will work out in my favor, that I do get a number or really get released from this situation, because like I said, I have 12 years in. So I'm just, I'm still fighting, I'm still standing strong. I still walk with God, because I fear no man but God. And it's just been one expensive, but just one hell of a ride, so to speak, especially not having no family down here in North Carolina, and everything that I love, somewhere else, from my kids to my grandkids, and to my mother and father. And keep in mind, I got a father who has stage 4 cancer, and he was just about to go underneath the knife to get a brain aneurysm surgery, that they had to stop it and reschedule it as well last Thursday. So, I'm dealing with some things too that are outside of prison, but again, I'm still standing strong by the grace of God. So, this is my story. But okay.
I want to ask you something. You said something about your children and your grandkids and everything. I want to ask you a question, man. How does having children while
You have 60 seconds remaining.
What happened now?
I'm going to get back to this question. As soon as Behind the Walls talk, we'll continue. Okay, I was hearing you when you were speaking and everything. You was speaking about your children and your grandchildren, and I would like to ask you a question like, how does having children while being incarcerated affect your time? How does it make you feel by being absent in their lives physically, and what is it that you do to be there for them mentally and spiritually now?
When I left, I had 2 sons. I got 2 daughters. So my oldest is 38. My babies both are 28, 6 months apart. My daughters. So my daughters were 17 basically when I left. They, so the biggest thing for me was missing graduations of high school as well as college. And, the daddy-daughter dances, just a special moment, especially my daughter having my first grandchild. That all of that was really, really.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
My daughter, especially my baby daughter, we have a special bond. She's definitely a daddy's girl.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
It's been very trying, but I'm gonna tell you, man, the biggest thing for me was God. God kept me on this path of sanity, because I know and understand one thing: anything that I do, especially in my situation, is not going to just hurt me; it's going to hurt my family. And I love my family. I'm not perfect. No, I'm not perfect. None of us are. But I try to exercise something that, like young men, to follow. because I mentor a lot of young men while I'm here. I don't care if they're gang members, whether higher, lower, or whatever. They're still human beings. They're still my children. And me being able to still be on the outside to talk to my children and ask them questions about certain things they didn't understand in my life coming up. Because I'll tell anybody this. I wasn't a great father. I wasn't a great dad. But I was a great provider and a great protector. And, you know, for some of us as men, we do only know how to do one or two things. And I just knew, you know, me growing up, I knew how to do one or two things. That was being a great provider and a great protector, just to answer your questions. But, you know, I try to listen more to my children as they grew up to be men and women. And you have to do that a lot. Instead of like talking at them, just talk to them, and they're going to tell you everything anyway.
That's right. That's right. They definitely are, man. They're going to tell you everything. Hey, let me ask you, what is it that you would like to say to the youth out there now that are being misled and find a life of crime intriguing?
Well, I'll definitely like to say this to the youth out there right now is this. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. And whatever you want to be, if you dream it, you can be it. You got to put your best foot forward first, and never let nobody tell you what you can't do and what you can do. You know, we as people spend so much time in something that doesn't make sense in time that we lose the sense of our time that we have on the face of the earth in our journey in this thing called life. And for each and every one of us, it's like, you know, we can proceed to do anything we want. I see a lot of young people idolize these rappers. And I said, why do you want to be a rapper instead of being the doctor, president, a congressman, something more than just being a rapper? There's nothing wrong with being a rapper. You know what I mean? I know plenty of rappers. I know plenty of legendary rappers. I a legendary rapper cousin. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, put yourself, your best foot forward. Like, as I've been here incarcerated, I became a self-published author. I wrote a book in county jail. In fact, I wrote 5 books in county jail. I didn't know how to write, but this was something that God showed me the gift that He had for me as being incarcerated, because I didn't have time to sit still long enough for the things that I was doing. I was a radio personality as well, hosting shows, events, doing voiceovers. But the gift that I found most precious to me, and still find more precious to me, is writing. Because I write poetry. I love writing. It's one of the greatest exercises ever. You know what I mean? And you know, my book is on Amazon as well as Walmart and books. You know, anybody that wants to catch my book can catch my book on Amazon.com/GotHipHop. That's GOTHIPHOP on Amazon. Buy the book. It's a beautiful book. It's a 2-in-1 book based upon my life as a DJ at the age of 13, growing up in Financial, Long Island, and with some of the greatest people who ever made hip-hop come alive, from Kool Herc to Mr. Magic, rest in peace, to Andre Harrell, to Russell Rush Simmons. You know what I'm saying? And I'm giving people my light of my life and my walk and my journey of what I've seen with these people and how they touched hip-hop, how they touched the world. It's also filled with a lot of beautiful poetry written in 2 forms. So, you know, it was my first book. This was a learning experience as well. I'm about to drop another book in April or maybe even March right now that I'm working on. But, you know, any accomplishment that you can make or that you want to see, that you want to be in life, you know, put your best foot forward, and you can become whatever you want to become. That's what I can really actually say to you. Anything is possible.
Okay. Okay, on another note, man, have you had to deal with the death of any loved ones or family or friends since you've been incarcerated?
Man, let me tell you, guys, I lost so many people. I just recently lost a good friend of mine from a group called Group B Chill in Long Island, and I lost a lot of people, man.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
I lost a lot of people, man. I mean, from COVID, I lost over 30 people. Family.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Is there anyone that was particularly dear to your heart, though?
Oh yeah, my uncle Cisco from Harlem, Uptown, and my cousin Venus from Harlem as well. She was like my sister. You know, man. I lost a couple of my right-hand men, you know, to the streets. Not to the life of the streets, but just to, you know, we are all old but young. I mean young, like 54, 55. I'm 59, so, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that I kind of get on edge about, and I'm grateful so much to God, and I pray. And my parents is really all I got. My mom is my best friend. So, you know, I just pray that, you know, God can keep my parents alive until I get home. Because that's something that's deep. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that,
yeah.
my brother. Definitely with you on that. Hey, you know, I know you've been incarcerated for, what, 12, 13 years, right?
Yeah.
And I know you have a desire of being back out in society. So will you tell the listeners what a second chance in society means to you, though?
Now, a second chance in society, to me, is a second chance of life, a breath of fresh air. It's walking again to do it God's way. Now, again, I'm not perfect, but to do it God's way, to do it the right way, to give back, to touch lives, to uplift lives, to be the best Phillip Scott that I could be, not just to me, but to society. To reach out to people and allow them to know and understand, like, I went to jail or prison for something that was a mistake that I greatly wish that if I could change it, I would. But now, for given a second chance at life, that chance will come to me being able to touch lives from children to young adults and to even uplifting to some adults as well, grown adults my age, to be the best, you know, that I could be in all aspects of life. You know what I mean? Especially like me being a grandfather, that's my second chance. You know what I mean? And some of the things I didn't do with my children, I could do with my grandchildren. You know, because they're still young at that age that I could do the things that I need to do with them. So, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, while I'm in here, I'm practicing that with a lot of the youth that's getting ready to go home. And I put something in their mind. I always tell a lot of the young guys, you got to have a plan of direction to go out there. You can't just go out there freestyling. You got to be firm about what you do, because sometimes people don't understand, you know, we get comfortable to be uncomfortable, meaning that, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable sometimes when you're doing something new.
That's right.
But that's the whole purpose of you doing something new. You know, and some guys, why they come back, is because they get comfortable because of who they once was, and they don't want to get outside their skin. Me personally, man, I didn't travel the world, you know, and whether I'm on vacation or music, and I touched a lot of hands with a lot of different people, and still a lot of different things I still want to do. But, you know, if I got to be uncomfortable to get in certain circles, I'm going to do that. If that's going to keep me free, if that's going to keep me on the right path, and if that's going to keep me walking right with God. You know what I mean? It might sound corny, but it's real. You know what I mean? So if anybody out there listening to me, if you give me a second chance, I don't care if they put me on 20 years parole 12 years parole, 15 years parole. Oh, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to this. You could bet $1. You could bet $1 million to 1. You know, I can't do this, man. This is you know what I mean, bro. I mean, I ain't got to tell you. You know, and you know, I want to say this, and you know this, man. For what I see, because I've never been incarcerated in North Carolina. This never existed in New York. This never existed in Ohio, and this never existed in New Jersey. I was at one time locked up in these places, but I've never been locked up as long as I've been locked up for this, and I've never been locked up for a violent crime. My whole background was drugs, possession of drugs, sale, and trafficking. But one thing for sure is just like my own peoples, man, like the same color of that I am, is the same color of peoples that just try to oppress you. And I don't understand it for the life of me, man. You know what I mean? I could be wrong, but
You have 60 seconds remaining.
it's crazy, man.
Okay. Hey, behind the walls.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Behind the Walls Talk will continue. Yeah, I'm back right now, man, with my man Phillip Scott on Behind the Walls Talk, man. Hey, my brother, would you like to continue on your elaboration on your second chance in society and what it means to you?
It just means to become great in my own state of me being the best that I could be as to my family, as well as myself and the world. Because I believe that when I do get out, I'm going to touch the world, you know what I mean? And I'm going to touch the world in a positive, you know, force of nature. I know to me and for me and probably for yourself, you know, good energy is very important in life. You know what I mean? When you got good energy, you got everything. You know what I'm saying? And I like to assert myself around people, you know, with good energy.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
I could tell you got good energy as well as your wife and, you know, people you assert yourself around. And that's what I want to do. I just want to assert myself around people with great energy, because when I do get out of here...
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
The walk is just beginning. And there's a lot of brothers I'll probably leave behind, but they won't be forgotten. And I want to help those brothers as well. It's like you're helping brothers. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, a second chance means everything that you can give somebody else a second chance as well.
That's right. And that's exactly what I choose to do, my brother, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't leave no soldiers behind, man. You know,
that's right.
I ran across a lot of brothers since I've been incarcerated, man. A lot of brothers that I take dear to my heart. You know, they're very
right.
Very loving brothers, caring brothers that'll give you the shirt off their back. You know.
Right.
Yeah, they
You're right about that.
Have a lot of love and loyalty, man. And you know, these are brothers that I feel that deserves a second chance in society.
Right.
And I'm definitely definitely going to be there for them, man, as much as I possibly can be. And I'm going to always be there to help them, aid and assist them, and hopefully I can free these brothers.
Right. You know, I'm also going to say this, man, and I want to say this to you and your wife. And it's a beautiful thing that when you find your queen while going through this situation, and that person rides with you, the loyalty, because loyalty is royalty, and that uplifting and, you know, just being there, you know, for you, and that's great. That's beautiful. You know, that's something I am looking for myself, as far as being able to have that special person by my side, you know what I'm saying, just to ride with me on this journey. That'll show me enough in a person, like, you know, at the end of the day that, you know, I got somebody who really got my back, who's going to hold me down to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing. You know, I don't have that. I didn't have that, but I did have God. and God showed me, like, yo, whatever woman I bring you, oh, yeah, because when I can't lie about it. Yeah, when I was out the street, I get my womanizing, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, but I grew up a lot. With just, I'm going to go back to a scripture in 1 Corinthians 13. When I was a child, I did childish things. But when I became a man, I put those childish things behind, and I grew a lot. I grew a lot in here, and yeah, I am looking for that special somebody. It ain't even about color, size. You know what I mean? Of course, I want a woman of age that knows and understands, because I don't do drama. I don't entertain drama. I don't entertain, going back and forth. I feel like when you got that special person, that's your queen, that's your partner, that's your best friend, that's your companion, that's your lover. You know what I mean? And vice versa. I'm an old school guy, so I got old school ways. I open up doors. You know what I mean? And I like affection. Affection is love. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and some people understand it, some people don't. But it takes a lot to have love. You know what I mean? But you get what you put out in love, like you do life. So at the end of the day, can I tell the listeners how they can reach me? My brother.
That's right. That's right, my brother.
I wanted to ask you, can I tell the listeners how they can reach me?
How can they reach me?
No, how can they reach me?
How can they reach you?
Yeah.
Well, they can, make sure that I put you.
Okay, I got you. Okay. It's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I put your name and Opus number, and I'm going to make sure I put a picture of you up there on the website at Behind the Walls Talk, so therefore you can be able to reach this brother and contact this brother. And if you want to, make this brother a happy man, a lovable man, you know what I'm saying, a loyal man, then you can get contact with his brother and everything, man. He's there, he's willing, he's looking.
Yeah, no doubt. I gave your wife my Facebook and my information on my book, so you can screenshot that as well. You know what I'm saying? And because I don't just like people looking at my mugshot. So, because I'm bigger than that mugshot. You know what I'm saying? So, I want people to see the accomplishments as well. Some people get this. You got a mugshot up there. You ain't doing nothing but sitting here in jail. Now, there's a lot of brothers in here that's making things happen. There's a lot of brothers in here that's making things shake. There's a lot of brothers in here that is putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, man, it's a lot of the brothers that got time to put in. Everybody got time to put it in, but everybody doesn't take the time to put it in, if you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So,
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
It's a beautiful thing, man. I really even got to explain it to you, and I know you know and understand what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But again, it's a journey that, by the grace of God.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
I hope that it really ends. I just want to say this to you, brother. I was blessed by the grace of God with a woman by the name of Christy Puckett Williams, by this brother who gave back 28 years recently. And this is how God works, because I just got to this facility here in Southern. And this brother, he heard that I was a book author, and I gave him a brief of my story. And he said, look, man, this lady just helped me get 28 years back. Actually, this little bro that I know that I'm really in tune with, that's in my inner circle, he got the information for me because he was talking about me. And I met the brother. Matter of fact, we had lunch today together. And he's been on me ever since. Like, yo, did your people's call her? Did your people get in contact with her? You know what I mean? He said, man, you a good brother. We got to get you out, bro. We got to get you out. She did my case and for nothing. And these people will help you. You know what I mean? And I'm not even so much worried about suing the state of North Carolina or anything anything like that. I just want my life back. I just want my freedom. I just want to smell air on the other side of the fence. I don't care about that money. I'm already rich mentally, physically, and spiritually. That, money can't buy everything. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's a happiness and a peace of mind. It's infinite. And when you have it, man, you don't want to lose that. That's what I can say on that note, man. It really is the truth, as far as that goes, man. And I also want to say, there's a lot of brothers in the music industry and the radio industry that got my back and has been here supportively for me because they know that I'm good from my heart. And I'm very grateful and thankful, man, for that. Definitely. I'm grateful and thankful for you and your wife as well, for this opportunity, man. I want to thank you again. You know what I mean?
And I want to thank you too, my brother, man. This was a very good interview, man. You had some enlightening points. I love your energy, man. I love your story, bro. And I promise you I'll always be there for you, man. Anytime you need me, the only thing you got to do is call on me, bro. And I'll always be there for you, man. This is a very wonderful interview. And anybody out there, man, I want you to make sure that you contact this brother. Cop this brother's books. This brother got books and everything out there. He got a lot going on. He got the energy. He has the aspiration, and he's dedicated. He's disciplined, and he's determined to get out of prison. He's going to be free one day, and I want all you brothers and sisters out there to know that this brother right here is going to be in your community, and he's going to be there to help you too as well. So go ahead and help him now so he can pay it forward whenever he get out. This is Behind the Walls Talk. Peace.